Hi students, welcome to Kim Shore. Today we are discussing the topic Jablonski diagram. Before going to the topic, I want to say few points. Okay, that is according to the Grotthus-Draper law of photochemistry. According to Grotthus-Draper law of photochemistry, that is also called the principle of photochemical activation. That is, only that light which is absorbed by a system can bring about a photochemical change. That is, only that light which is absorbed by a system can bring about a photochemical change. But it is not compulsory to bring the photochemical change. However, it is not compulsory. That is, it is not essential that the light which is absorbed must bring about a photochemical change. Okay, sometimes it may lead to another phenomena. Okay, that is, absorption of light may result in a number of other phenomena as well. That is, for instance, the light absorbed may cause only a decrease in the intensity of the incident radiation. This event is governed by the Beer-Lambert law. Okay, that is, the factors involved in the photoexcitation of molecules and their subsequent relaxation are best explained with the help of the Jablonski diagram. Firstly, in order to understand this diagram, we need to define some terminology, that is spin multiplicity. The absorbed light may result in a number of other phenomena in addition to photochemical change, which may be explained with the help of Jablonski diagram. Okay. It is before going to that Jablonski diagram, we are explaining some terminology, that is spin multiplicity. Okay. That is, most molecules have even number of electrons, and thus in the ground state all the electrons are spin paired. That is, condition is like this. If the condition is like this, that is spin paired condition, it is in the ground state. Hence we can say that is when the spins are paired, the clockwise orientation of one electron is cancelled by the anti-clockwise orientation of the other electron. That is, if the spin is paired, the upward orientation of the electron spin is cancelled by the downward orientation, so that S is equal to 0. That is total electron spin. That is, spin multiplicity of a state is given by 2s plus 1, where S is the total electron spin. That is, total electron spin S is equal to S1 plus S1. S2, that is S is equal to S1 plus S2, that is half minus half. This one of the spin is half and spin of another electron is minus half. Then half minus half, that is equal to 0. Hence we can say that the spin multiplicity, that is 2 into 0 plus 1, that is equal to 1. Spin multiplicity is 1. This is known as singlet ground state, and we can say that the molecule is in the singlet ground state. Okay, thus we express it by saying that the molecule is in the singlet ground state. Next, that is on absorption. When by absorption of a photon of a suitable energy h nu, one of the paired electrons goes to the higher energy level. That is, one of the paired electron goes to the higher energy level. That is excited state. The spin orientation of the two single electrons may be either parallel, either parallel or anti-parallel, like this. Either parallel or anti-parallel. If the spins are parallel, like this, if the spins are parallel, we can say that S is equal to S1 plus S2, that is equal to half minus half equal to 1. That is, if it is parallel, the spin of electron is half, this electron is half and this electron is half. Okay, half minus half, that is equal to 1. Then overall spin multiplicity 2s plus 1 equal to 3. That is, here spin multiplicity is 3. And we can say that this is expressed by saying that the molecule is in the triplet excited state. That is, if spin multiplicity is 3, that is, the molecule is in triplet excited state. Okay. Now the third condition, the spins are antiparallel. Then S is equal to S of the electron spin of this electron is half and this electron is minus half. Then total electron spin S is equal to S1 plus S2, that is half minus half, that is equal to 0. This 2s plus 1, total spin multiplicity therefore equal to 1. So we can say that this is called the singlet excited state. This is the singlet excited state and this is the triplet excited state. That is 2s plus 1 equal to 3 here. Here 2s plus 1 equal to 1 here. Okay. That is, this is called singlet excited state. This before entering to the topic, we want to discuss some more points. This, regarding the spin selection rule. Okay. It is absorption of a photon. Here you can see, it is generally most molecules have an even number of electrons, that is all of them being spin paired, like this, spin paired in the ground state. Thus the ground electronic state of a molecule is generally a singlet state. It is a paired condition. Electrons are in paired condition, and so we can say that singlet ground electronic state, that is, the ground state is a singlet state which is represented by S0, that is singlet ground electronic state. Okay. That is absorption of a photon of a suitable frequency by a molecule in S0 state, that is the ground state. Singlet ground state can cause the promotion of one of the paired electrons into the higher energy levels, that is S1, S2, S3, etc. The result is an excited singlet state, that is, the resulting is an excited singlet state. All these are excited singlet state. This is because, that is, spin is conserved in photo excitation, that is, by quantum mechanical selection rule. Spin inversion during photo excitation is forbidden. That is spin inversion. That means converting S1 to triplet state, that is T1, is a forbidden transition. That is spin inversion during photo excitation, absorption of a photon is forbidden, and spin is conserved in photo excitation. That is between a transition between states of different multiplicities. It is S1 and T1. Transition between states of different multiplicities is forbidden. That is, if a molecule is in the singlet ground state S0, upon photo excitation is raised to one of its several singlet ground state, that is represented by S1, S2, S3, etc. But here from S0, it will not allow the quantum mechanical selection rule is not allowing to the transition from S0 to T1. That is a forbidden transition. That is, this S1 to T1 transition are forbidden transition. Okay. That is for each singlet state S1, S2, S3. There is a corresponding triplet state. Here you can see T1, T2, T3 are triplet states. Okay. Each triplet state has are in lower in energy than corresponding singlet state. That is, triplet state are in lower in energy than singlet state, corresponding its singlet state. This is because in a triplet state, the electrons with parallel spin staying in different orbitals. That is, in a triplet state, electrons with parallel spin staying in different orbitals. That is like this. Electrons with parallel spin staying in different orbitals. Okay. Different orbitals tend to stay as remote as possible from one another. That is, they are staying far apart as possible. That is, there is a decrease in mutual repulsion. There is a decrease in mutual repulsion between two electrons. Hence, we can say that the energy of the triplet states are lower than corresponding its singlet states. Okay. Firstly, we are discussing the absorption. That is, absorption of a photon. That is, by absorption, that is, since the electrons can jump from the ground state to any of the higher electronic states. Any of the means S1, S2, S3, etc. This is represented by absorption. That is, represented by letter A. That is absorption. Here we are discussing the absorption. Okay. Since the electron can jump to any of the higher electronic states, that is, depending upon the energy of the photon absorbed, we get a series of singlet states. That is Sn, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3. That is S1, S2, S3, S4, etc. And also series of triplet states, triplet excited state, that is T1, T2, T3, etc. Okay. That is where Tn, that is n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Thus S1, S2, S3 are known as first singlet excited state, second singlet excited state, third singlet excited state, etc. Similarly, T1, T2, T3 are called first triplet excited state, second triplet excited state, and third triplet excited state. Okay. Thus, the quantum mechanically, that a singlet excited state has higher energy than the corresponding triplet excited state that we had discussed earlier. That is, singlet excited state has higher energy than the corresponding triplet excited state. Okay. It is ES1 greater than ET1, ES2 greater than ET2, ES3 greater than ET3. Okay, this much clear. I think you all are in right track. Okay. That is, on absorption of light, that is photon, the electron of the absorbing molecule may jump from S0 to S1 or S2 or S3, that is singlet excited state, depending upon the energy of the light photon absorbed, as shown in the Jablonski diagram. This is the Jablonski diagram. For each singlet state, that is for each singlet state, excited state S1, S2, S3. There is a corresponding triplet excited state, that is T1, T2, T3. The molecule, whether in singlet or triplet excited state, is said to be activated. That is, the molecule, whether in singlet excited state or triplet excited state, both are activated, are said to be activated. Thus, we can write that A0 plus H nu gives A star. That is, A0 is the molecule in the ground state and A star is the molecule in the excited state. That is, A0 plus H nu, by absorbing H nu of photon of energy, we are getting this A star, that is the molecule in excited state. Okay. This is overall absorption. Okay. Next we are discussing what is happening to the activated molecule. The activated molecule returns to the ground state by dissipating its energy through a following process. That is, namely, we are going to discussing that. First case, non-radiative transition, and the second case, radiative transition. This activated molecule returns to the ground state by dissipating its energy, that is, removing its energy through the following process. That process is mentioned here, that is non-radiative transition and radiative transition. Okay. Firstly, we are discussing non-radiative transitions. That is, these transitions do not involve the emission of any radiation. That is, these are called radiation-less transitions. Radiation-less transitions. That is, after being excited to a higher electronic state, a molecule will not remain in that state indefinitely. It is, will come back to the or relax back to its electronic ground state. There are several different radiative and non-radiative mechanisms. Here we are explaining the non-radiative transitions. That is, transition between energy levels that take place without the absorption or emission. Transition between energy levels that take place without the absorption or emission of radiation are called non-radiative transitions or radiation-less transition. Okay. That includes three transitions, that is vibrational relaxation or vibrational cascade, internal conversion, intersystem crossing are typical examples for non-radiative transition. Okay. Here we are discussing one by one. Okay. Let us discuss the electronic levels. That is, here you can see the lines. These are vibrational levels, that is represented by V1, V2 and V3. We can represent like this. That is, vibrational transitions occur between different vibrational levels of same electronic state. Vibrational transition occur between different vibrational levels, that is V1, V2, V3 of the same electronic state, that is S1 singlet excited state. Here vibrational transition occur between different vibrational levels, that is V1, V2, V3. And the rotational levels, that is rotational transition occur mostly between rotational levels of the same vibrational state. That is, inside this vibrational state there are rotational levels, that is rotational levels. That is, here you can see the rotational levels. That is rotational levels in between the several vibrational levels. That is, rotational transition occur mostly between rotational levels of the same vibrational state. Okay, it is these are the rotational levels in between these vibrational levels. Under vibrational levels there occur rotational levels. That is V1, V2, V3 are the vibrational levels. Under such vibrational levels there occur rotational levels, that is R1, R2, R3, etc. We can represent like this. Okay. This vibrational transition occur between different vibrational levels of the same electronic state V1, V2, V3, and under this vibrational levels there occur rotational transition, that is rotational levels of the same vibrational state, that is V1, V2, V3. Under V1 there are several rotational levels, under V2 there are several rotational levels, under V3 there are several rotational levels. Okay, these are some of the electronic state. Okay, let us discuss the vibrational relaxation or vibrational cascade. That is, after being photo-excited to some vibrational level of one of the excited singlet state, that is one of the vibrational level, that is here we had discussed that one of the vibrational level. After being photo-excited to some vibrational level of one of the excited singlet states, that is S1 or S2. Okay. After being photo-excited to some vibrational level of one of the excited state, that is S1 or S2, a molecule generally loses vibrational energy. That is, that molecule is losing vibrational energy very rapidly and until it reaches the zeroth vibrational level of that electronic state. That is, suppose this is V0, V1, V2, V3. That is, it is reaching the V0, that is zeroth vibrational level of that electronic state. Okay. This occurs through a collisional transfer of energy from excited molecule to other molecules in the sample. That is, other molecules include what? Solvent or anything else, that is including solvent. That is, this occur, that is vibrational loss of vibrational energy occur through a collisional transfer of energy from the excited molecule to the other molecules in the sample. Okay, this process is called vibrational relaxation or vibrational cascade. Okay, this process is called vibrational relaxation or vibrational cascade. It is represented in this diagram here by VR, that is vibrational cascade or vibrational relaxation. Okay, which is a non-radiative transition. Non-radiative, it's an example for non-radiative transition. Okay, VR. Next, internal conversion. That is, it's a non-radiative process in which an excited molecule undergoes a transition to a higher vibrational level. It is here. Higher vibrational level of a lower electronic state of the same multiplicity. That is, multiplicity is same. This internal conversion is a non-radiative process in which an excited molecule undergoes a transition to a higher vibrational level of a lower electronic state of the same multiplicity. That is internal conversion. It is from S2 to S1, or you can see that is the internal conversion from S3 to S2 or S2 to S1. That is internal conversion. That is, this is occurring between same multiplicity. Internal conversion occur between same multiplicity. This internal conversion is a non-radiative process, that is radiationless, in which an excited molecule undergoes a transition to a higher vibrational level of a lower electronic state of the same multiplicity. That is, here by internal conversion this is reaching here, that is the higher vibrational level. From here, that is from this electron is de-excited to here, to the higher vibrational level, that is V3. Okay, here it is de-excited to higher vibrational level, that is V3, to a lower electronic state, that means S1. S2 is a higher electronic state and S1 is the lower electronic state, okay, of the same multiplicity. Okay, that is molecular spin state remains the same during internal conversion. Molecular spin state remains same during internal conversion. That is, internal conversion occurs in cases where the vibrational and rotational levels of an excited state overlap with those of a lower electronic state. That is, this occurs in the cases where vibrational and rotational levels, that is vibrational levels and rotational levels of an excited state overlap with those of the lower electronic state of the same multiplicity. That is, the internal conversion is occurring in such cases. Okay, that is overlapping, the cases that overlapping of the vibrational and rotational levels with that of the lower electronic state having same spin multiplicity. Okay, that is, and here. Okay, that is, this transition involve the return of the activated molecule from the higher excited state to the first excited state. It is S3 to S1, S2 to S1, T3 to T1, T2 to T1. This here we can see S1, S3. It is S3 to S2, S2 to S1, and T3 to T2 and T2 to T1 are internal conversion, that is between same multiplicity. Okay. The energy of the activated molecule is given out in the form of heat through molecular collision. That's so you can see it is A star giving A plus heat. This process is called internal conversion. This is radiationless transition. This internal conversion occurs in cases where the vibrational and rotational levels of an excited state overlap with those of the lower electronic state of the same multiplicity and is a spin allowed transition. That is, we had discussed earlier, that is, it is not a spin forbidden transition, which is a between same spin, that is, it's a quantum mechanically allowed transition between same spin. Transition between same spin, that is, which is a spin allowed transition and takes place very rapidly, that is, occurs in less than about 10 raised to minus 11 second. Okay, that is, internal conversion is a transition between same multiplicity. Okay, S2 to S1, S3 to S2, T3 to T2, T2 to T1. Okay, that is between same multiplicity. It is a spin allowed transition and hence takes place very rapidly. Okay, next we are discussing intersystem crossing. This is also a radiationless transition. Okay, It's a non-radiative process in which an excited molecule undergoes a transition to a state of different multiplicity. That is a state of different multiplicity. Here we can see this is the intersystem crossing. That is a state of different between transition between different spin multiplicity. Okay, that is a transition to a state of different multiplicity from S2 to T2, from S3 to T3 and S1 to T1 is an example for intersystem crossing. Okay, that is molecular spin state changes during intersystem crossing. During intersystem crossing, molecular spin state changes. Okay, and during this intersystem crossing occurs in cases where the vibrational and rotational levels of a singlet excited state overlap with those of the corresponding triplet excited state. Okay, this occurs, intersystem crossing occurs in such cases where the vibrational and rotational levels of a singlet excited state overlap with those of the corresponding triplet state. This is a spin forbidden transition that is occurring between two different spin multiplicity. Okay, S2 to T2, S1 to T1. That is quantum mechanically this is a forbidden transition. Intersystem crossing is a forbidden transition. Okay, that is molecule may also lose energy by another process called intersystem crossing. These transitions involve the return of the activated molecules from the states of different spin, that is different multiplicity. These transitions are also non-radiative or radiationless. Intersystem crossing occurs in cases where the vibrational rotational levels of a singlet excited state overlap with those of the corresponding triplet state. And we had already discussed that this is a forbidden transition. That is, these transitions are not allowed. And they even occur very slowly, slow rate at a range 10 raised to minus 8 to 10 raised to minus 3 seconds. That is being a transition between states of different multiplicities. Intersystem crossing, that is from triplet to singlet. Okay, from triplet state to singlet, that is singlet to triplet. From singlet to triplet, that is this transition is a spin forbidden process. Hence this transition is slower than internal conversion. Why this transition, that is intersystem crossing, is slower than internal conversion? This is a question. That is, answer is this: intersystem crossing is formally a spin forbidden process. Spin forbidden process hence is slower than internal conversion. Okay. Next we are discussing radiative transitions. This radiative transition includes fluorescence and phosphorescence. That is in the Jablonski diagram. That is, fluorescence is represented or denoted by F and phosphorescence is represented by P. Okay. Light absorption by the molecules results in electronic excitation and causes the formation of singlet excited states, that is S1, S2, etc. That is formation of excited singlets. Spin being conserved in the process, that is spin is here conserved. That is upon photo excitation, molecules are raised from the singlet ground state to the various vibrational levels of various vibrational levels of several higher singlet states, that is S1, S2, S3, etc. From here, they generally lose energy very rapidly through non-radiative processes. It is vibrational cascade, internal conversion, intersystem crossing, etc. These are non-radiative processes, and eventually reach the zeroth vibrational level. That is zeroth vibrational level means nu is equal to 0 of S1. That is, spin is being conserved in the process, and upon photoexcitation, molecules are raised from the singlet ground state, that is S0, to the various vibrational levels of several higher singlet states, that is S1, S2, S3, etc. From there, they lose energy very rapidly through non-radiative process and eventually reach the zeroth vibrational level. They lose energy, that is, they lose energy very rapidly through non-radiative process and reach the zeroth vibrational level of S1, that is singlet excited state. But some of them may choose another pathway which is radiative, that is radiative. It produces radiation. It is here vibrational cascade. This is also a vibrational cascade, that is vibrational relaxation, non-radiative process. Okay, this is also a vibrational relaxation. That is, this is a non-radiative process. But here some of them may choose or opt for a radiative return to the different vibrational levels of the ground state. Different vibrational levels of the ground state. Okay. These are the different vibrational levels of the ground state, that is S0. Each such returning molecule emits a quantum of radiation of appropriate frequency. That is, this emission of radiant energy is termed as fluorescence. It is S1 to S0. Fluorescence is denoted by S1 to S0. Okay. These S1 to S0 transition are quantum mechanically allowed. Okay, so this does not involve the spin change. That is, this is a allowed transition. That is, fluorescent transitions occur almost instantaneously. That is, within 10 raised to minus 8 to 10 raised to minus 7 seconds. That is, it's an instantaneous process after absorption. This fluorescent transition is an instantaneous process. It is a radiative emission. That is, an appropriate radiation of appropriate frequency is emitted here. Hence, it is called radiative emission. That is called fluorescence. Radiative transitions. These transitions involve the return of the activated molecules from the singlet excited state S1 and triplet excited state T1 to the ground state, that is S0. These transitions are accompanied by the emission of radiations. Thus, radiative transitions involve following two radiations. That is, first one is a fluorescence that we have discussed. Next, phosphorescence. The emission of radiation due to the transition from triplet excited state, that is T1, to the ground state S0 is called phosphorescence. This T1 to S0. This transition is slow. Why is it slow? It is a forbidden transition. It involves spin change. Forbidden transition, the lifetime of this transition are much longer, being of the order 10 raised to minus 3 second. That is, this is a time. The time for this transition is much longer. There is a time lag for this transition. Why is it so? Due to spin inversion. That is, it involves spin inversion which needs time for its occurrence. That is for the spin inversion which needs time. Okay. Here you can see that from T1 to S0, which is phosphorescence. Okay. Phosphorescence. Electronic excitation of the molecules in their singlet ground state S0 by light absorption raises them to some vibrational levels of one of their several higher singlet states, that is represented by S1, S2, S3, etc. From here, through non-radiative process, the molecules can lose energy and eventually reach the lowest vibrational level of S1, that is nu 0, lowest vibrational energy. That is, then they may choose to undergo a non-radiative transition with a spin change or without spin change. That is, with spin change involves intersystem crossing. Without spin change involves internal conversion, vibrational cascade, etc. Okay. This intersystem crossing is the transition involving from S1 to T1. Called intersystem crossing, is quantum mechanically forbidden and is a slow process. That is, the loss of vibrational energy may then continue in the T1 state. The loss of vibrational energy may continue in this state, that is T1 state, as the molecules descend the T1's ladder of vibrational energies. That means what? That is, from this is a series of vibrational levels in this electronic state, that is nu is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. That is, this energy here, losing of energy, loss of vibrational energy, hence this electron reaches here to the lowest vibrational level, that is equal to nu is equal to 0. That is the lowest vibrational energy level. Okay. Such molecules may jump down from T1 to the ground state S0 with emission of radiation. This is called phosphorescence. Okay, that is T1 to S0 transition is also quantum mechanically forbidden. That is, intersystem crossing and this one T1 to S0 transition, that is called phosphorescence, is also quantum mechanically forbidden. It is the transition from T1 to S1 is called phosphorescence, and which is a quantum mechanically forbidden transition. That is, the lifetime for the molecules are relatively longer. Why is it so? Because they are able to spend some time in T1 before they jump down to the S0. Okay, they are spending more time in T1 before they are jumping down to S0. As a result, the emission of phosphorescent radiation is slow and delayed. It needs some time. Okay. If a system absorbs radiant energy and then emits it partly or completely after a time lag, that is after some time, in the form of radiation, the phenomenon is called phosphorescence. That is after some time lag, if it is emitting radiation, that is called phosphorescence. And this phosphorescent emission continues for some time even after the source of exciting radiation is removed. Okay, it is continue for some time even after the exciting radiation, that source of the exciting radiation is removed. It is a quantum mechanically forbidden transition. Okay. It is fluorescence and phosphorescence are the examples of radiative transitions. And this is all about Jablonski diagram, that is spin multiplicity and the radiative, non-radiative transition, radiative transition, and so on. Okay, let us wind up this section. Thank you.